Pink and black. Those were her favorite colors. And on September 23rd, 2025, a 23-year-old mother made one last request, that she'd be buried in them. By the time her family saw that post, she was already gone. Tonight, we're talking about Zen, Nucky, Sylvester, and Girl. This one hurt different. Her mama's words hit Facebook like a punch to the chest. She wished to be buried in pink and black, and I'm going to make that happen. September 23rd, 2025. Toledo, Ohio. Zen Nucky Sylvester, 23 years old. A social media creator. A mother of 3 babies. Gone. Just gone. Her family's grief spilled out in real time, right there on the timeline where everybody could see it. A mother trying to honor her daughter's last wish, while the rest of us were still trying to process what happened. People who only knew Nucky from her posts, from her smiling pictures with those beautiful kids, were now reading a memorial instead of a regular update. To her followers, she was that girl. The one with the radiant smile, the cute kids, the funny captions. A young mama who looked like she had it all figured out. But behind those snapshots, that's where the real story was hiding. A woman quietly drowning under exhaustion, heartbreak, and the weight of raising 3 kids mostly by herself. Still showing up every single day for those babies. Still smiling for the camera. Still trying to hold it all together. Her last post was short, simple, and looking back on it now, heartbreaking. It didn't scream for help. It didn't sound panicked. It was just peaceful, pink and black. A quiet farewell wrapped in her favorite colors. And hours later, her mama confirmed what no parent should ever have to say out loud. Her daughter had taken her own life. So tonight, we're telling Nucky's story. Not just about how she died, but about how she lived. About love and loss. About the invisible weight so many women, especially young black mothers, carry in silence. About a community left, asking that same haunting question. How could someone so full of life feel so alone? This isn't just the story of a death. It's the story of a life that mattered. A mother whose final act became a warning sign for all the others still out here fighting to hold on. The fights that turned deadly. The red flags everyone missed. The unspoken words left unsaid until it was too late. The shadow behind the curtains unveiled as we shine the light on shadowed stories that need to be told. This is Shadowed Crimes TV. Join us daily as we break down domestic violence cases. Hit the subscribe button and be part of the conversation that breaks the silence. Before the world knew her as Nucky, she was just Zen Miela Sylvester, a bright, spirited girl from Toledo, Ohio. And listen, everybody who grew up with her will tell you the same thing. She was the kind of person you didn't forget, the type to walk into a room and change the whole vibe. Warm, inviting, magnetic. Her teachers at Boucher High used to say she had that spark. You know what I'm talking about. That thing that made you believe she was destined for something bigger. Her friends called her Nucky, a nickname from childhood that just stuck. Soft and playful, just like her energy. She had a smile that could lift you out of any bad mood, a laugh that came from deep in her chest. And this way of making everyone around her feel seen. She was sweet, she was kind, and she had this gift of making people feel like they mattered. But even back then, during those early years, life was already preparing harder lessons for her. Like a lot of young women growing up in working-class neighborhoods, Zen had to grow up fast. There wasn't a whole lot of space for dreaming when survival was the priority. But she still had dreams, though. Dreams of stability, of building a real family, of raising kids who would never have to struggle the way she did. By the time she turned 16, those dreams had already crashed into reality. December 2018. Zen became a mother for the first time. Most girls her age were worried about prom dresses, senior pictures, late-night phone calls with their best friends. Zen, she was changing diapers, heating up bottles at 3 a.m., learning how to comfort a crying newborn on 2 hours of sleep. It was supposed to be beautiful, right? Young love, a baby born into promise. But like so many teenage mothers learn the hard way, promises can fall apart faster than anybody warns you. The man she thought would build that future with her, he didn't stay. What was supposed to be a partnership became a one-woman mission. And just like that, at 16 years old, Zen stepped into full adulthood. Alone. No instruction manual, no safety net, just raw determination and her own instincts. She didn't know how she was going to make it work, but she did. Every single morning, she woke up for school, cradled her baby in one arm, carried her books in the other. There was no blueprint for this, just faith and grit. She worked whatever job she could find, borrowed rides from whoever was willing, leaned on anyone who offered even a little bit of help. There were days she went without so her baby wouldn't have to, but through all of it, she smiled. People saw that smile and thought it meant she was okay. But that smile wasn't peace. That smile was armor. As the years went on, that armor only got thicker. Fast forward to May 2024. Zen gave birth to her second child. Still young, still hopeful, still fighting. Then just 1 year later, June 2025, she brought her third baby into the world. She was only 23 years old, but she'd already lived through more storms than most people face in a whole lifetime. To the outside world, she made it look easy, posting those cute pictures, funny little clips, matching outfits with the kids, bright captions about motherhood and blessings. But behind those posts were nights where she cried quietly in the dark, rocking one baby back to sleep while another one was calling from the other room. Nights where she didn't know how she was going to make it to morning. People love to talk about strong women like it's a compliment. But for Zen, strength wasn't a choice. It was the only option she had left. She wrote on Facebook once, and girl, this hit different. Before I got pregnant, I used to always wonder why families didn't work out after a baby. I finally realized that a lot of men aren't able to understand how much a woman goes through mentally, physically, and emotionally. We face so many challenges within ourselves, yet we're still expected to be the same person during and after birth. It takes a lot of communication and reassurance for sure. Real talk. She had 3 children, 2 jobs, and 1 tired heart. The world expected her to juggle it all: work, smile, nurture, forgive, keep going. But nobody stopped long enough to ask what all of that was costing her. And somewhere between those sleepless nights and the constant weight of doing everything alone, love, the thing that was supposed to be her safe place, became just another battlefield. The man who was supposed to be her partner, he was often gone. And when he was around, he wasn't really there. Betrayal became a regular visitor in her life. The same person who should have been protecting her heart was the one breaking it over and over again. She tried to make it work, tried to believe in forever, but forever was starting to sound like a straight-up lie. Still, she stayed. For the same reasons so many young mothers stay. Because she thought it would be better for the kids. Because love, even when it hurts, still feels safer than being alone. Because leaving meant admitting it was really over. She opened up on Facebook again, and you could feel the exhaustion in every word. I'm tired of acting like I'm okay when I'm not. I'm not okay at all. My heart is broken, and I'm mad because I don't do anything to hurt anybody. I give my last. I put everyone before myself, yet I always end up with the short end of the stick. My love is pure. And if I say I love you, I mean it. It's nothing I won't do for you. I've been in this position too many times. This stuff bothering me. I'm lost, and I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I keep asking God, but I'm getting no answers. I'm so angry, man, and I can't even hide it anymore. I'm not the person I used to be. I just want the old me back, the happy me. Like, make it make sense. Here's a woman pouring her whole heart out, loving hard, sacrificing everything, and still coming up empty. Still feeling alone, still feeling broken. But the weight just kept building. Every broken promise was another crack in that armor she'd been wearing since she was 16. Then came August 2025. Her silence broke in a way that got everybody's attention. She went online and said what so many single mothers wish they could scream from the rooftops. I'm not the baby mama. I'm the custodial parent. I am the primary parent. I'm the mother, the one who doesn't get to pick and choose when to show up. I'm the big dog, if you may, on any day. Period. That wasn't just a post. That was a declaration, a way of saying, I'm the one who's here every single day. I'm the one doing the real work. Don't get it twisted. It was anger, exhaustion, and pride all rolled into one. She wasn't looking for sympathy. She was demanding respect. In another post, she wrote, "No woman just wakes up and decides to be distant, cold, guarded, or toxic. That attitude you see, that tone in her voice, that wall she built, it came from somewhere. From betrayal, from being lied to, disrespected, and let down too many times. Women are naturally loving and soft. But if you keep hurting someone who only wanted to love you, right? Don't be surprised when that love becomes protected. And honestly, if you read between the lines, you could feel how tired she really was. There's a kind of tired that sleep can't fix. A kind of exhaustion that lives in your bones, in your spirit. And Zen had been carrying that for years. After that post, she went quiet again. No updates, no live videos, no new pictures of the kids. To some people scrolling past, it probably looked like peace, like she was finally getting some rest. But to the people who really knew her, that silence was a warning sign. Because silence isn't always calm. Sometimes silence is collapse. She'd been running on fumes for months. Her body was tired. Her heart was tired. Her whole spirit was tired. And in the quiet of those final days, nobody knew just how close to the edge she really was. Then came September 23rd, 2025. Her Facebook account flickered back to life with a post that seemed simple at first. Unassuming, no drama, no anger. Just words that sounded like they came from someone who'd finally found peace with a decision nobody else knew she'd made. The message mentioned pink and black, her favorite colors, and a small detail that, looking back on it now, absolutely breaks your heart: her wish to be buried wearing them. My favorite colors are pink and black. I want my sons in all pink. Real men wear pink, and they will be real men. I don't know where I am, but I know I was tired. I love everybody that loved me. I made it to 23 with 3 kids. If this touched Facebook, I'm gone. To her followers scrolling through their timelines that morning, it probably looked like just another status. Maybe a little sad, but nothing that screamed emergency. But to her family, that post would soon become the last words they'd ever hear from her. When the news broke, it didn't come from police scanners or breaking news alerts on TV. It came from the voices that mattered most. Her family, right there on Facebook. Her mother's post cut through all the noise. She wished to be buried in pink and black, and I'm going to make that happen. By the afternoon of September 23rd, what had started as confusion across Toledo became painful confirmation. Zen Nucky Sylvester had taken her own life, one day before her brother's birthday. Let that sink in for a second. Her brother's birthday was the next day, and she was already gone. Friends started tagging her name in posts. Classmates changed their profile pictures to photos of her smiling face. Condolence messages began flooding timelines from people who knew her, people who'd only met her once, people who'd just seen her online. Within hours, Dale Riggs Funeral Home listed her name, Zen Miela Sylvester, age 23. Born April 24th, 2002. Gone too soon. The GoFundMe launched that same evening, set up by family, friend Akisha Jordan. The plea was simple: help us lay a young mother to rest. Help us take care of the 3 children she left behind. 3 babies who still needed everything: food, diapers, clothes, stability, and now they needed it without their mama. Her age kept repeating itself across every single piece of coverage. 23. 23 years old. Too young to be a headline. Too young to have her name carved into a headstone. Way too young to be gone. The obituary was heartbreakingly brief. A date of birth, a date of death, and a promise that memorial details would be announced later. There was no mention of police investigations, no coroner reports making rounds in the media. There didn't need to be. The truth was already written all over the grief of everyone who loved her. Reporters didn't rush in trying to sensationalize it. They followed the family's lead. Gentle, respectful, quiet. People.com confirmed her passing, citing the GoFundMe and her mother's public statements. There were no crime scene photos, no dramatic angles, no speculation. Just a story about a woman, her 3 children, and the weight she'd been carrying until she couldn't carry it anymore. Because for once, this wasn't about mystery. This was about heartbreak, investigation, aftermath. Her mother's pain became the voice of the whole story. In a post she shared with family and friends, raw and unfiltered, she wrote, "Dear Zen, I am writing to express my heartfelt love and longing for you. Your absence has left an unfillable void in my life, and I am deeply saddened by the thought of what could have been. I wish I could have been there for you and done more to help you through the difficult times. The memories of our time together are forever etched in my heart and soul, and I am reminded of the moments we shared and often took for granted. I wish I could turn back the clock and have you back starting anew with the hope that you would have felt comfortable sharing your true feelings with me. I am grateful for the 3 beautiful grandbabies you left behind, and I promise to care for them with unwavering devotion. I hope you are now at peace, free from pain and suffering. Please know that I never judged you and was always there to support you to the best of my both abilities. Everyone has a breaking point, and I hope you are now resting easy. I look forward to the possibility of your presence and guidance from time to time. Your beautiful smile and presence will always be remembered, and I will continue to celebrate your beautiful soul and good heart. Mama loves you and will always be here for you. There's no manual for how to grieve your own child. But that day, she showed the world exactly what that kind of pain sounds like. Unfiltered, unprocessed, never-ending. Her father posted too, something simple but heavy. All my kids hate that I'm always taking pictures of them, but not her. She always understood the assignment. #Nucky Forever 23. Moving on, the community didn't stay quiet either. By the next day, Toledo was painted in pink and black. At the vigil, pink and black balloons floated toward the sky, each one carrying a handwritten note. You were loved. You mattered. Fly high, Nucky. One friend wrote through tears. Seeing my sister like this, man, I'm not okay. This is not what I wanted. Please, man. I'm so hurt, man. For real. Like why baby Nucky Sylvester? Friends showed up in pink hoodies and black ribbons tied around their wrists. Mothers came holding their own babies, wiping tears while they sang soft gospel hymns. A few nurses and CNAs from nearby clinics came straight from work in their pink scrubs, standing side by side with high school classmates who still remembered Nucky as the girl with the big, infectious laugh. Her oldest child, just 6 years old, stood in her grandmother's arms. Too young to fully understand what was happening, too small to carry the weight that would one day have to be explained to him. That his mama loved him so much, but sometimes love isn't enough to fight the kind of tired that lives in your soul. Online, the memorials multiplied fast. Posts tagged her name alongside photos of her smiling with those babies, quotes about motherhood and strength, pink and black graphics with her face. But mixed in with all the genuine tributes were some uncomfortable realities. Screenshots of her last message getting shared over and over. Her smiling selfies reposted by people who never knew her. Even clips from old Facebook Lives getting passed around. Some of it was done to honor her memory. But some of it was strangers chasing engagement, turning her grief into content. The internet, in its endless hunger, began to consume her story. We've seen it before, right? The way pain goes viral. The way a family's tragedy becomes everyone's trending topic. What starts as remembrance can quickly turn into spectacle if we're not careful. And that's exactly why stories like Zen's have to be told with care. Not curiosity, not for clicks, but with care. Because behind every photo was a whole person. Behind every post was a heartbeat. Behind every smile was a woman fighting battles nobody could see. Now, there's no arrest in this story. No trial. No courtroom drama. No villain to point fingers at. But there is accountability that needs to happen. Not legal accountability, but the kind that makes us look in the mirror as a community and ask some hard questions. The conversation that followed Nucky's death became bigger than just one woman. It turned into a mirror for thousands of young mothers who saw themselves in her story. The invisible load they carry every single day. The sleepless nights. The bills piling up. The relationships crumbling under pressure. The weight of being everything to everyone while feeling like nothing to yourself. It's a weight that doesn't make headlines until it's too late. Because what we often call strength in women, especially Black women, is really just survival dressed up in a smile. And girl, let me tell you something. There are quiet dangers hiding in that kind of strength. Sleep deprivation that becomes normal. Postpartum changes that. Nobody talks about. Financial stress that never lets up. Isolation that creeps in so slowly you don't even notice it's choking you. Each one seems small on its own, but together, they form a storm that's impossible to weather alone. And when support isn't there, when therapy feels impossible to afford or even find time for, when asking for help feels like admitting you're failing, a lot of mothers do exactly what Zen did. They keep going and going and going until they just can't anymore. If there's one message this whole story should carry with it, it's this. We have to start checking on the people who seem fine. The ones posting smiles while running on empty. The ones who never complain because they don't want to be a burden. The ones holding everything together with duct tape and prayer. Like one advocate wrote after Nucky's death, "Don't just say she's strong. Ask if she's okay. And if she says she's fine, ask again." Because sometimes that second question is what saves a lighted life. But hey, now the focus has to turn to the children. 3 young souls left behind in the care of grandparents and extended family. Growing up in a home that just lost its brightest light. Her oldest, 6 years old, already asking where mommy went. Her 1-year-old still reaching for her voice whenever someone says her name. And her baby, just 3 months old at the time, will only ever know his mother through photographs and the stories people tell him. That's exactly why these fundraisers matter so much. They're not just about covering funeral costs or buying a casket. They're about continuity, about therapy for those babies when they get older, about daycare so grandma can still work, about clothes and food and stability, about making sure 3 children never forget how fiercely, how deeply, how completely their mother loved them. Her mother, now the guardian of 3, speaks often about keeping her daughter's spirit alive in those kids. They'll know her voice. They'll know their mama was strong even when life wasn't fair. And that right there? That's what it means to build a village after loss. It's neighbors offering rides to doctor's appointments, friends dropping off diapers and formula without being asked, community centers arranging grief counseling groups, churches collecting donations, ordinary people doing small, sacred things that slowly start to rebuild broken lives. If you're listening right now and wondering what you can actually do for families like Nucky's, it's honestly not that complicated. Bring a meal. Offer to babysit for an hour so grandma can breathe. Give someone a ride. Listen without asking for all the painful details. Don't demand explanations or timelines. Just offer your time. Because real love in practice isn't about grand gestures. It's about consistency. It's about showing up. In the end, Nucky's story circles back to what really matters. Not how she died, but how she lived. She lived loudly. She laughed hard. She fought for her children every single day with everything she had. She poured her time, her energy, her hope, her whole heart into those babies. Even when she was breaking apart inside, she made sure they were whole. That, right there, that's her legacy. Her mother still remembers those daily phone calls, the ritual that connected them, the routine that became sacred. She called me every day at 12, every day just to talk, just to say hi. Now my phone's too quiet. That silence, she says, is the hardest part. Harder than the funeral. Harder than the condolences. Harder than seeing her daughter's name on a headstone. It's the absence of that voice at noon. The phone that doesn't ring anymore. The conversations that will never happen. But even silence has an echo. And in that echo lives everything Zen ever stood for. Love, perseverance, color, beauty even in the hard places. The determination to keep showing up even when everything in you wants to quit. So what can we take from this? What's the lesson that Nucky's life is trying to teach us? First, we need to normalize asking for help. Not as a sign of weakness, but as an act of courage. Too many women, especially young Black mothers, feel like they have to carry the world on their shoulders without ever putting it down. Like admitting you're struggling means you're failing, but that's a lie. Asking for help means you're human. It means you're wise enough to know you can't do it all alone. Second, we have to check on our strong friends, the ones who always have it together, the ones who show up for everybody else, the ones with the big smiles and the positive posts. Because a lot of times, those are the people suffering the most in silence. Strength doesn't mean you're okay. Sometimes strength just means you've gotten really good at hiding the pain. Third, we need better support systems for mothers, especially single mothers. Affordable childcare, access to mental health services that don't cost a whole paycheck, community resources that actually work, therapy that doesn't have a 6-month waiting list. Real, tangible help that meets women where they are, not where we think they should be. And fourth, and this one's important, we have to stop glorifying struggle. Stop acting like suffering in silence is noble. Stop telling women they're queens and warriors when what they really need is rest, support, and someone to share the load. You can celebrate someone's strength while also acknowledging they shouldn't have to be that strong all the time. Nucky's story isn't just a cautionary tale. It's a call to action for families to communicate better, for partners to show up fully, not just physically, but emotionally, for communities to create safety nets that actually catch people before they fall, for all of us to pay closer attention to the people around us, especially the ones who seem fine, because fine is the most dangerous lie we tell. Zen Nucky Sylvester. April 24th, 2002 to September 23rd, 2025. 23 years old, mother of 3, daughter, friend, a life that mattered, a story that won't be forgotten. Thanks for watching. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you haven't already, hit that like button, subscribe to Shadowed Crimes TV, and turn on notifications so you never miss a story. We're here every single day bringing you true crime content that goes deeper than the headlines. Stories about real people, real pain, and real lessons we all need to learn. Share this video with someone who needs to hear it, because Nucky's story could save a life. It could be the push someone needs to finally ask for help, to finally admit they're not okay, to finally reach out before it's too late. Subscribe to Shadowed Crimes TV for more stories that shine light on the shadows we don't always want to look at. Drop a comment below with your thoughts, your experiences, or just to let us know you're listening. And most importantly, check on somebody today, not tomorrow, not next week, today. Because you never know who's holding on by a thread, waiting for someone to notice they're not okay. Stay with us as we continue to tell the stories that matter, the stories that hurt, the stories that heal, the shadowed stories that deserve to be told. Rest in peace, Nucky. Your story will keep speaking long after your voice went quiet. Pink and black forever.